You look exactly the same as last week.
Anyone care?
Rock and roll.
Hey guys, this is Jared
And Ryan.
from the Game Room, and we have a little bit more about Firelands to talk about with you guys. It's been a week since launch, and
People have already downed heroic bosses. Find out how when we come back. Alright, we're back.
there are over 1,000 guilds that have already downed all 7 bosses on normal modes, and it is a week after launch. A week.
Not even by the end of the week, there will have been a guild to kill Heroic Ragnaros. I promise. And then Blizzard will be like, something! Because people have already downed 4 of the 7 heroic bosses.
4.
In case you haven't heard, there have been a couple guilds. There's 2 that I know of for sure. There's one Taiwanese guild and one US guild who downed all 7 normal bosses, and then they faction changed to the opposite faction, which reset their raid lockout. So they can go in after already completing the 7 normal ones and start on heroics in the same week. The first week, mind you. The first week this is released.
Pretty much,
Shouldn't have happened.
yeah. That just like goes on with what we said last week about, last week, there was already a guild, or a few guilds that had already downed all 7 bosses on normal modes, and that should not have happened.
Not in the first week.
Period.
No.
End of discussion.
No.
Should not have happened.
Like, people were hugging Shanox. Even Rylith. Like, yesterday, I saw people hugging Rylith.
That should not happen.
People should not be able to hug it in the first week. They were saying that yes, they dumbed down tier 11 so you could hug it so that the casuals could catch up to the people who were on a normal rating schedule. But they didn't say that people would be able to pug normal Firelands. You shouldn't be able to.
And we're a week
into
Firelands.
A week.
And there are already people hugging it. Really, Blizz?
Really, Blizz. On the lighter side of things, the new dailies in Firelands and Hyjal are actually, I really like them. Because,
so amazing.
I didn't play in BC during the whole Sunwell thing where they did something similar where you did these dailies, unlock these, and do these, blah, blah, blah. So, now that,
Lost your train of thought.
Thank you, Kellen. I didn't do that. So, to see, me doing these dailies, getting this amount of tokens, then going on here, they're like, oh, we need your help on the Molten Front. Oh, go there and kill fire things. So I go there and I'm like, Malfurion's there and he's all like, oh, I'm a badass. And then you help him do stuff. And then after you get 300, I guess you could just do 150 and just do one. But who does that?
Yeah.
After 300 tokens. But I wonder if, call me crazy, if you have 150, it counts for both, and you can turn them both in.
No. It's you do 150, and then you turn it in for one, and you get another 150, and you turn it in for the other. However, in order to get, the rep vendor that is in the Molten Front right now, in order to get the little rep tokens that you can get for your faction and everything, or the little bag that you can get, you have to do both of those quests to get the 150 quest, and then you have to do the quest after you've gotten both of them that you can only unlock by doing both of them. So pretty much,
if you want a bag, you have to get 300.
300.
Like the movie, but not at all, actually.
Not even close.
I don't know, because I was okay with Tolbarad dailies. It was kind of cool. Oh, we won Tolbarad, scramble for resources. But now it's like, we're at war, son.
Yeah.
When you're in the Molten Front fighting the stuff, it actually feels like you're in the middle of a war.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's not just because there are so many people doing it, it's just because there is so much going on around you.
there's druids doing stuff, there's the hunters doing like off the hills, and then Malfurion's in the back like, I'm badass, so I don't have to do anything. And then, even though he could just be like, no! And like, everything would just be done. They could be like, sup, rag, let's kill you. But no, he just kind of has to stand there like, because he's badass. He doesn't have to do anything.
The DPS increases from weapons from 359 to 378. That is too much.
Okay, let me put it, I'm going to give you a real example. Okay? My bow, right now, is the 359 Vicious Gladiator bow from Season 9, okay? Because it was good. Like, it's the equivalent of normal Thermios, plus some resilience and minus, like, haste or whatever else is on Thermios. So the DPS and the amount of agility you get is the same. So it was a really good weapon. Like, I got it at the very beginning, or whenever I started doing PvE stuff after I got out of the PvP thing. And I just used it. I didn't have to upgrade it at all, because I never stepped foot in a heroic raid to get heroic Thermios. So, like, the Lava Bolt crossbow, okay, like, most of the drops in Firelands, you can get them, and then you can get a little token. It's like a dragon scale something or another, and to upgrade it to another vendor who upgrades it to a heroic version, because there isn't a heroic version of a random drop, right?
Yeah.
Well, the normal crossbow, Lava Bolt crossbow, is eye level 378. 378?
Yeah.
It is plus 120x DPS, just weapon DPS, from my bow. The heroic version is plus 216 DPS from my bow. Eye level 370 or 391. The DPS increases for weapon DPS classes. Like, you might find yourself being out DPS'd by like a mage or something, because their DPS is scaling with their other gear. But just tell them to just you wait. As soon as we get a weapon that does more DPS, you will not be able to know what is happening, because all weapon DPS classes right now are they still do the same DPS. They still do the same DPS. They haven't like gone down or anything. I mean, they're getting other upgrades too, and it's going up that way. But as soon as you get your weapon, your 378, 391, whatever it is, even if it's like a crafted like 365, your DPS is going to go up significantly. I don't know. I don't know what this is going to mean for DPS. I know hunters are in a good spot.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think what the legendary is going to do to caster DPS.
I don't even want to know. Like, okay. As soon as by the way, I moved over to this dude's server, and I'm going to start raiding with this guild, so you can expect to see some like raiding boss footage with both of us in it. So that. But
which will be on this channel, which you should watch more because you like us. And
I would say there's a link in the description, but it doesn't exist yet. So
coming soon.
There will be. Anyway, as soon as, I'm sorry, but as soon as one of is Whoopi getting the first?
Yeah. One of our officers is getting the.
He's a shadow priest. He's getting the first legendary staff of the guild. As soon as he gets it, I'm quitting.
That's how ridiculous his DPS is going to be.
It's already ridiculous.
He already does like 20 to 22k
sustained,
and with the legendary is just gonna be like 30k, like all the time.
He could
It's
have
just
his-
not gonna stop.
He could have his regular tier 11 gear right now and just add the staff, and he would go up 10k DPS. I don't want. As soon as he gets that staff, I'm quitting, unless he leaves. I'm deleting his account. Just you wait. As soon as you get that staff, I'm deleting your account.
Let's see what else happened in this past week that really peeved you off.
People still suck at Zandalari dungeons. I don't know how, but they do.
We were rolling in a Zandalari dungeon last night, to be exact. All of us were 360 eye level or higher.
We wiped on every boss at least once. This is unexplainable. There's not a reasonable explanation for this. Blizzard, do something about it. Or at least make regular heroics worth 140 Valor points. Because
Tired of doing trolls.
I don't want to ever step foot in a troll dungeon again. Ever.
I am above 353 on both of my gear sets. I seriously do not need another troll ever again.
I have one gear set, and
Also-
it's done.
I really didn't think I would be this upset about valor point caps, but
It's kind of
180.
depressing. It is really depressing.
3 weeks for a 220 piece? Really?
Really? I was so excited. I was so excited because I was just gonna I'm gonna go straight for the tier pieces so I get my 2-piece bonus right away, right? As soon as possible. And I was like, alright, capped out. Yes. Next week time to cap. Oh wait, now I still have to wait a week. Then the next week you're like, yeah! Finally got it, now I do it all over again.
Another 3 weeks.
Of course, you could get the 1650 piece in 2 weeks, but that's just one piece.
The only piece.
The only piece. It's depressing.
I mean, that's not taking into account the drops that you get off the bosses
Yeah,
in Firelands, which are also very, very helpful.
shiny. Purple pixels.
Oh, them perps. But regardless, that is a ridiculous amount of time to wait to get your gear. Because, I mean, I'm a druid. First thing druids get, period, end of discussion, is a relic. That is 700 points. So now I have to wait 2 more weeks, capping out completely to get my 220 or 2200. And I have 2 sets of gear, by the way. 2 specs.
Unless I'm going to use this to segue into the next topic.
Mm-hmm.
The new Buried Hold boss drops tier 12 pieces.
Oh, he does.
So if you could get a tier 12 drop,
Oh, he does. He does.
he does.
This boss, the new boss that they just released on Tuesday,
I don't know.
we went in
I don't know.
with a pug group. Me and him last night.
Just LFG, Buried Hold, 10-man class group. We did it.
We downed Argoloth.
No problem, easy peasy. Except for the first time when a warlock pulled.
Yeah, well, Warlock pulled first time.
It screwed up everything.
Everyone's mojo was all
We went
everywhere.
in and we redid it and we downed him no problem because everything went right because we did everything right. But then we moved on to the new boss and
This is the simplest concept for a boss ever.
here's the boss.
Okay? Tank A, Tank B. Okay?
Then you have a group right here.
Which is your DPS and heals.
They just stack. Or range DPS and heals. They stack right here.
And your melee DPS goes right here. Right next to the boss. Okay?
Right up his yep.
Both of them. Okay?
I'll call it that. At one point, he does a move called the Eyes of Okuthar, which are kind of like, they are actually exactly like the Iads on your way to Argoloth and Okuthar. That's gonna Okuthar. I'm just gonna call him the new boss. The new boss. Where they like lock onto raid members, you have to AoE them down fast, or they'll blow up and wipe everybody.
Yeah.
At this point, you're supposed to stack. At this predetermined point, all ranged heals and melee DPS, but not tanks. Not tanks. Okay.
Ever.
They have to worry about the breath. Not tanks. Continuing.
Anyways,
It stacks right here and AoE everything. So that
you have 10
eyes
seconds
down.
to get the eyes down, or they kill the raid.
Yes, that's plain and simple.
But the reason why your tanks stay over here is because of the breath. The breath that Okuthar does.
Pretty much, if it
107k damage in a frontal cone.
So, okay, this means the fight is extremely healing intensive on the tanks. Tank heals have to be beasts. But also, the reason you have two tanks, back to the diagram, the reason you have two tanks is because one over here, he'll pull him, then he goes, boom, I'm pressing you, breath. And as soon as he's done with that breath, the other tank taunts, and he goes, boom, then he waits. Then he taunts. And it repeats.
Over and over again.
But if the tank faces him this way towards the raid, and he breaths the raid, that's a wipe, bro.
Everyone will die.
And they have.
We did this
Too many times.
5 attempts. 5 attempts.
We couldn't
Every
get
time
past
we did it. Every time we did it. Every time we started. Okay? We told the tanks, specifically, wait until the breath is done to taunt. And you make sure that when you taunt, you grab aggro as soon as you possibly can.
They didn't do this, and this is what happened. Oh, I'm a tank, oh, well, the raid's dead.
This is our experience. We're sharing with you guys so that you guys will not make the same mistakes that people
Everyone else has made.
plugging this really simple concept of a boss have made.
Yeah. And if you down him right, he drops tier 12, man. Just do it.
Tier 12.
You could,
And Season 10.
yeah. Season 10 also started. You can get your vicious gear from the previous season for honor points now. So if you want to catch up like me and you've entered all your vicious gear, you can go get that again pretty easily. Don't vendor your vicious gear. Yeah.
Never do that.
Never do that. Please don't ever do that.
Anyways, that's enough ranting about Firelands for this week, I suppose. So, follow us on Twitter, The Game Room Chan, Facebook, The Game Room. If you have any questions for us, leave them in the comments, or email us at thegameroomchannel@gmail.com.
Go to the website. Register for the website. We've already had a few people like register and make a username, and that's awesome.
Link in the
Description. Go there. Leave us comments there on all of our videos. Are there.
thegameroomtv.com.
That's it.
thegameroomtv.com. It's really not that hard. It's really simple.
Yeah, we're editing that out.
It's really simple. thegameroomtv.com.
We should leave the part where we're saying we're editing that part out, but we're not telling him what we edited out, so they'll just go crazy.
Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.
Button's there.
Later, folks.